Sociolinguistic perspectives on language learning. As we are evaluating the sociolinguistic approach, we need to see what is its contribution towards the second language learning and what does it provide us in terms of insights in the process of second language acquisition. So, sociolinguistic oriented research has provided us with rich insights and rich descriptions of the context. It has focused on the importance of speech events, that is, the whole chunk of communication occurring within a social context. It has led us to believe that learning or any learning, including language learning, is definitely a collaborative affair. It happens within a social context, and in that it is similar to sociocultural approach. It says also that language knowledge, that is, the type of language, the words within the language, the repertoire, the whole chunk of vocabulary, or the grammatical structures, the dialect or the standard language, whatever you might think of language in terms of, is always socially determined. So the language that a child will learn will be determined by the social context within which the language has been picked up. May it be the first language or it might be the second language. There is, however, less detail of how that actually happens. There is less detail of expert and novice interaction. If you would remember, in the socio-cultural approach, there was a lot of focus on scaffolding. This is exactly what we mean by a dialogue that occurs between an expert in language and a novice, or a novice means somebody new to the learning of the second language. So while sociocultural theory gives us lots of details and places emphasis on it, your sociolinguistic theory does not talk about it in that much detail. And works or research like that of Uts, for instance, which actually works out the whole root of how a first language is learned, is very, very rare. So that does not often happen in sociolinguistic oriented research. Currently, we have lots of ethnographies of in second language, and they provide evidence of the influence of the learning context, and also, as we discussed in our previous modules, the researchers also tell us about how learners' evolving identity, evolving and changing context affects language learning and leads to their success or failure. So what are the variables or differential success? What will determine the students will succeed or not? A, they would place emphasis, a sociolinguistic approach will pay attention in this regard to communities of practice, the patterning of learning opportunities, and how much unequal or equal opportunities are available for the learners to learn the language.